Bang!
Alright?
Here this way.
Hey, what are you doing, dude?
I'm recording.
I'm not gonna edit any of this out.
Good.
Okay, that is good. So anyways, we just saw The Man with the Iron Fist, the midnight premiere. We were pretty excited for that, and I'll have to say we were disappointed.
Very disappointed.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
anyways, it was a pretty big ordeal just to get in. Basically, his older brother, who is 18, was bringing his friend, who is 17, and then us three. And we went to the theater we normally go to get into R-rated movies. They're usually pretty lax about it. But tonight, they're being really weird about it, and they would only, I guess the law is, you have to, if you're 18, you can only buy 2 R-rated tickets, and if you're 17, you can only buy 1. So only 3 of us out of the 3 out of the 5 of us will be able to get in.
And then you're 21 and you can buy however many you want.
Yep, it's
unlimited.
It's a pretty stupid rule. But so anyways, we made a quick run to another theater that we know is pretty lax and is basically just let us walk into Halloween, and yeah, they ended up just letting us in, and
it
they
was
didn't
like
really care.
$3 cheaper too.
Yeah, it was only like
$9.75.
$9.75.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I was able to pay for a soda.
Yeah, I got some Bunch of Crunch too. So
it's what we need with America's childhood obesity epidemic, right?
Yeah, especially if you go late, you get a pretzel for $1.
$1, everyone.
$1
yes.
pretzel.
I didn't know
Usually
regular
for
$4.25.
Yeah,
$4.25.
I was wondering why you bought one. I'm like, okay. Anyways,
if you don't buy that, you're losing money. Let's face it. Okay.
it was the last one too, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
And I got some hot melted cheese with that thing.
So
Anyway, with the review.
yeah, the review. I'll start it off, I guess. We'll start with the good things, and then we'll end with the bad, and then just wrap it up. So, and as you may know, our scale is from stars 1 to 5, so it'll be somewhere, in between there. So, anyways, the good things. I really liked Russell Crowe in this movie. I thought he was really funny, and each character kind of had their own weapon, I guess, and his weapon was pretty cool. It was almost like a knife revolver thing, and it had 2 blades on that, and it could kind of be used as a scissors. It was really cool.
Yeah, and then it also had a gun thing on it too.
Yeah, it'd shoot out a blade. His name was Jackknife, pretty cool name too. And I also liked Lucy Liu's character. They're probably the 2 strongest actors and actress and actor in that movie. I think they're the most experienced out of the whole group, and yeah, she did a good job. So you guys want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I liked Lucy Liu in this movie. I thought she did her kind of Kill Bill kind of look,
Yeah.
and she definitely did a good job with it.
Alright, I thought Russell Crowe was pretty cool too, even though the first half hour he's just giving girls chlamydia the whole time. And
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
yeah, and Lucy Liu was really good too. She never mind, I can't say that. Never mind.
Okay. Moving on, RZA, the guy who directed it, he's a rapper, I'm sure. He played a pretty big role. He was basically the man with the iron fists, and
He wasn't basically that. He was.
He was the man with the iron fists, and he was an okay actor. I mean, it's his first movie experience ever. I think he directed it, and it's his first. The first one he directed and acted in, and he did okay for a first time.
I'd say for a first movie, I think he definitely did pretty good. We'll get into more stuff later, but I think he did pretty good with especially with his first movie.
Are we just talking about acting right now?
We're just talking about basically RZA and how well he did, or what we thought of him.
directing as well.
Well,
or should we get that?
We're still in the good.
Later?
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
It's something
All right. Yeah, I thought his acting wasn't bad, and there's a certain point when these people are doing something to him, and it actually seemed like he's going through pain.
Yeah, I did like that.
I thought he did a good job at it.
Another good thing is the whole overall style of the movie. It's kind of it's really, I guess it's kind of gory. Some of it, we'll get into that later. But yeah, it was pretty gory, and all the colors they used are just really stylized and very Asian. It was kind of like a grindhouse thing, and I think I said Kill Bill already. But yeah, it was that kind of style. It was cool. So, you got anything to say, guys?
Yeah, I think like you don't see movies like this at all anymore.
Yeah.
And the fact that a first-time director did this and this was his very first movie, like, kind of shows a lot about him. And I respect him for choosing this style for a movie. And I thought it was pretty a good choice.
Yeah, I think the style's good. I think he did a pretty good job in this movie. So he did good with that.
Alright, and the final part of our whole good section is the music was pretty cool. It was a lot of hip-hop and rap. And most of the time it fit in well with the action scenes. Sometimes it didn't. Like, I didn't really like the Wiz Khalifa song very much. I didn't even know what it was. It was just kind of like almost, it may have been auto-tuned. I wasn't paying that much attention, but it was a really high voice. I didn't like that song, but the rest of them were pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't like hip-hop or rap music, and I actually thought the music was good in the movie. Like, if it was just alone, I probably wouldn't like it, but since it was used during like fighting scenes, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think the music definitely fit in with the kung fu and the action. So I think the music was a good choice using that kind of style.
All right, now we're gonna move on to the bad, and there's unfortunately quite a bit of it. First of all, the whole story. It was really complicated because there were like at least 7 different clans you had to like keep track of throughout the movie, and it was just jumping around a lot. It constantly jumped between characters. Like it didn't focus enough on one main character, I didn't think, the whole time. It was just kind of all over the place, and
yeah, right.
Too much to keep track of.
For me, I thought that the blacksmith part, you know, what's his name? I can't even.
RZA.
RZA, yeah. I think definitely RZA. Well, I didn't know which order they were in, but anyway, RZA. I really liked the whole blacksmith thing, and then like right when it seemed like they were gonna just focus on him about that whole thing, it just kind of moved to something else for 10-15 minutes, and I kind of
it just wasn't
right there.
Focused.
Yeah, the story, like, it's a simple story, but they make it so complicated with all these different clans and crap that it's hard to like know what's going on. And a lot of the people, they'll be sitting there talking about these people, and I had no idea who they were, because their name would be like Xian.
Yeah, a lot of people had like the same name, and I couldn't.
Yeah, practically the exact same name. And I agree that it didn't focus on one person enough, because I wanted to get to know the main character a little bit, and you never really get to very well.
Yeah, it definitely focused on RZA the most. It even had a a flashback part, but it just wasn't enough to like really develop anything. There was some pretty cheesy acting. Like this movie, it had some cheese in it, which is okay. I was kind of looking for that, but after a while, it just got really it was used way too much, and it was just it just got annoying, and some of the acting was really bad. Like with just some of the side characters with like 2 lines, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Some of the acting wasn't quite that great, and I feel like they could have did a better job with the acting and the whole thing with that. So.
Yeah, I think the acting in certain parts wasn't great, but I think it had more to do with like the writing and what the director wanted from the actors, more than the actors themselves. And I think they were trying to get that, but it didn't work in their favor.
Exactly. Alright, another thing, the action scenes. Jermaine said after the movie that they seemed really heavily edited and a lot was taken out, and I agree. Like, the intro scene of the movie, it's this fight scene, but it's just, you don't know what's going on in any of the fight scenes, actually. And it's just, they're all just really messy, and it doesn't show much.
Yeah,
it just doesn't, it's not enough.
It's like, they did kind of like more close-ups, more like than like an outside view, so you can actually see what's going on. It's just like a close-ups of the fighting, and then you don't know which one's which, and then they just do a quick flash of one person getting killed, and then they'd switch to somebody else. It's hard to tell which one's which.
Yeah, during a lot of the fight scenes, I honestly had no clue what was going on. And then there would be like certain shots that I liked, and I could see what was going on, and then it would immediately cut to a new one. And the editing, like Luke was talking about, it seemed like it was edited in the action scenes and the climax a lot. But throughout the whole movie, I bet this movie was cut down by, like, honestly, like an hour or two.
Yeah.
I swear it. We'll talk about editing in a second. I had no clue.
It had such a short runtime. It was like an hour and a half. It could have. It seemed
90 minutes.
Yeah. All right. This is something just kind of small, but some of the music just didn't fit the scene quite well enough. Kind of like the Wiz Khalifa one. That one. I mean, that one fit it. I guess it was really short. There wasn't much, but I mean, yeah, some parts the music just wasn't. I mean,
And it would
it's no
go
big
from
deal,
like a
but-
good song
Yeah.
and an intense part, and it would totally change the tone
Yep.
within
Yeah.
2 seconds. It didn't do it terribly though. But it
And
did it.
the ending, which is basically our last part of the whole. Oh wait, no, never mind. Forget that. Going back to kind of like the action scenes thing, there would be like transitions, and like we said, the characters, it kind of jumps around a lot, and it doesn't focus enough. And basically, they'd be in the middle of a fight, and they'd be like, I don't know, would you guys say like a minute of like one guy fighting another guy, all the main characters, and then it'd like jump to another one in the middle of their fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just expect you to kind of like be able to quickly put that together that they're still fighting. It just didn't work well at all. The transitions they had.
And like, how do I say this? The transitions, Jesus. Okay, yeah, like he said, it would just go halfway through a fight, and then one person would die off, and then they'd move on to the next one, and then you'd get halfway through that fight, and move on to another fight scene, then you'd go back, and that person would die off.
Yeah.
And it was
really
just
random.
like, stick with one thing, or have them all in a close vicinity of each other.
Yeah.
That way, they're not all separated, and you have to jump from place to place.
Yeah, it was like more than, I guess it was more than like 2 characters. It was like 3 characters, fighting with, obviously another person. So it was just like they go to one and then the other and then the other, and then they just go back, and it'd just be just kind of a mess. So.
Alright, and then I guess the last part now is the ending. We're not going to spoil anything. But basically the end, it kind of wanted you, like since there was almost no character development, you didn't really care about anybody in the end. And in the end you wanted the 2 characters, good and bad. You kind of wanted like, the movie wanted them to be like an epic ending because there's such a rivalry between them, but they never even set that up in the first place. So you didn't even get anything out of the end. Like they made it seem so big, but it really was nothing because there was nothing between them at all.
Yeah.
No interaction.
Yeah, they made it seem like some huge epic conclusion to this movie, and like the music got all epic, and I didn't care. It seemed like every single other fight scene in the movie.
Yeah,
because-
I was just like, whoever wins, wins. Awesome, great.
Like, I
Movie's
obviously wanted the good guy to win, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I knew he was going to win because I had seen every single fight before that. And it was pretty obvious at that point. And, there's a character in here who dies way too easily.
over. Yeah,
Like,
you don't even see it coming. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you do, but it's really dumb, and that's what I was just like. Are you serious?
yeah, you can't have
Can
some
we-
big character and then they just die from some quick little thing. And
Yeah.
they seem like they're practically invincible, and then they die from some quick little thing, and then
Yeah.
they're done with it as
Yeah.
a character.
I don't think they looked over that part very well. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and it didn't really go into detail at all. It didn't even seem like a big deal because no character development, like I've said 1,000 times. So I forgot to mention one thing on the good. Rick Yoon, I thought he was pretty good too. He had like this body armor with it was like all knives. If you remember in Die Another Day, he was that bad guy with like the diamonds in his face. The James Bond movie Die Another Day, and he was pretty crappy in that, but he was fine in this. I thought. I don't know. I like to see him back in a movie again. It's been a while.
Yeah, I thought his character, well, since you didn't really get to know him, but I mean, he did a fine job for what he was
Yeah, he
given.
had some good fight scenes actually.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I really liked was the big bronze guy that you probably seen from the trailers. Yeah, he really kind of reminds me of a Bane character, from the Batman movie. Just when he was fighting other people, that's like the only time I felt kind of like scared for those people was because he was like so big and so like indestructible. And I thought like it kind of reminded me of like a Bane character because I'd be pretty freaked out if I had to fight that guy.
Alright, so we're gonna conclude this review here. You guys have heard our opinions and thoughts, and I'm gonna say I gotta think about like how many stars I'm gonna give it, but I'll just say that for now that I'll just give RZA another chance because it's his first time, and he hasn't had any experience, and I mean it was like decent, I guess, but I mean for a beginner it was decent, but I mean I'm not just gonna hate him because of this one movie he did, because it had some cool elements, but a lot of it was just like really out of place and didn't work. And so I think I'll just end this movie with, I don't know if I should go 2 or 2.5 out of 5. I think I'm gonna go I think I'm gonna have to go 2 on this one. I didn't really enjoy it at all. I'm really disappointed.
Alright, I kind of agree with Luke about the whole RZA. It's his first movie, and it's better than basically every movie Michael Bay ever made. And it's his first time, and Michael Bay's made 1,000,001 crappy movies.
Wait a minute, he's made like one good one. I'll look that up while you guys are finishing.
Has he really?
Yeah.
How good was it?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty. I think there's one that's actually pretty good, but go ahead, Jermaine.
Okay, yeah. So yes, and I really like the style, and you can tell that his movie got chopped up a lot, but at the same time, it was kind of his fault if he made it like really long and boring. Say it.
Breaking news. Sorry to interrupt you, by the way. Jamie Foxx is supposedly gonna play Electro in the new Amazing Spider-Man, the sequel to this summer's past movie.
Okay, before I was rudely interrupted, about
some random thing like Spider-Man over here.
Yeah. So I think you could tell that it wasn't like a normal, totally mainstream movie, and I like that about it, and I have respect for him doing that with his very first movie, and I think after this, he'll kind of learn to cut him down a little bit and make the story more simple and easier to understand.
Yeah.
And so I didn't completely dislike the movie, but I obviously didn't think it was a great movie by any means. So I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars.
All right. My overall review, I thought that the action was pretty good when the action came, and the blood was pretty good, but they used a lot of digital blood in there, and that kind of screwed it up for me. But RZA's first movie, and I thought it was pretty. It was okay. Like we said, no real like character development, and the dialogue isn't really that great. But there's some good shots in there, and the action's pretty good. Like I said, so I'd probably say I'd go probably 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
Oh, Armageddon?
Yeah, okay. Back to Michael Bay now. He did...
and The Rock.
Yeah, he did The Rock and Armageddon. Those are... I haven't seen either of them, but he says they're good.
Yeah.
And he also did a Playboy video back in 1990, so that's always good too.
And he also made the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
Which raped everyone who watched them.
So
Every
yeah,
single one.
that's basically sums up our review. I would say I'm not gonna recommend it. If you really like that style of movie and
yeah, if you like kung fu
then
movies,
rent it.
Yeah, like my brother went like bananas over it. He liked it just because it had action, but like if you're a real like person that actually looks at the story and the dialogue and everything else, then I don't think you're gonna enjoy it. But if you just like
if you're looking for something different,
yeah, if you want to just watch an action movie,
yeah, but
that makes no sense. Feel free to rent it or go see it.
It's better than any Transformers movie.
Yeah, like we said.
Yeah.
So, if you like Transformers movies, you're gonna love this.
Alright, go see it if you like Transformers.
Who's gonna end this thing? Jermaine, you do the honors, because I don't know what to do.
Dude, I just did. I said it's better than Transformers.
No, go
and
click the button.
yeah, I said it rapes you too. That's good, right?
Yeah, just go click the
Or go
button.
click
That's
the
what I meant. Jesus.